Alright guys, let's see how we can solve question 37 from the first chapter of the Johnston textbook, Mechanics and Materials, and we have a steel loop ABC that has a length of 5 feet and diameter of 3/8 inches, and it's placed around a 1-inch diameter aluminum rod AC. We have two cables BE and DF, each of them 1/2 inches diameter, and they're used to apply load Q. We know that the ultimate strength is still, and for the loop is 70 ksi, and for the aluminum rod is 38 ksi. So we have the same ultimate strength for the steel, for the loop, and the cables. And we need to determine the largest load Q that can be applied, and we have an overall safety of factor of safety of 3. So we're going to start with the free body diagram of each of these joints. So we need to figure out the force in each of these members, and from that force and the free body diagrams that we have, we can relate that force to the Q. And once we do that, we're going to get 3 different Qs for each of these members: cable, the loop, and the aluminum rod. And the lowest Q would be what's acceptable for us, because that way we can make sure that the system or any of these members is not going to fail. So let's start with the free body diagram of point B. So we're going to have the force Q upward and 2 different forces in this direction. We can call them FAB and FBC. And because of the symmetry of the figure, FAB and FBC are the same. So FAB is equal to FBC. And we have some information in here. We know for this right triangle, this side is 9 inches. This will be 12. And based on Pythagorean theorem, this will be the square root of 9 squared plus 12 squared, which is going to be 15. So we are in equilibrium. So we have this assumption, and if we are in equilibrium, sum of all forces is equal to 0 in both x and y direction. In here, since our Q is in y direction, we're going to go with sum of all forces in y direction. We consider this as our positive y. So we're going to have Q minus the y component of these two, which would be what I'm showing in here in green. So this will be the y component, and these are the x component. We don't care about the x here because we're looking for the y component. Basically, the y component would be minus FBC. And we have the same thing. This is 9, 12, 15. And the y component would be the adjacent of that angle, which is 9 over the hypotenuse, or 15. And we have the same thing for AB. So instead of doing minus FAB times 9 over 2, I'm just going to multiply it by 2 is equal to 0. We can simplify this if we divide by 3. So our Q in here will be 6 over 5 FBC, or our FBC is equal to 5 over 6Q. So now we have the force in the loop with respect to Q, and we're going to do the same thing in order to find the force in the rod AC with respect to Q. So for that, we're going to draw the free body diagram of point C. And if we draw the point C, we'll see that we have the two forces of FBC and FCD. But the question is, what is the direction of these two forces? Is it this way or Is it in the, or is it in the opposite direction of what we are showing now? And the answer to that question is that, so we know 100% that the force for FBC is in this direction, which means the member in between has to be in tension. Based on Newton's law, these two has to cancel each other out. And if that's the case, we have the same scenario on the other end. These two has to be in the opposite direction. So that's the correct direction for FBC and FCD. And because of the symmetry, again, FCD is equal to FBC in here too. And the other force that we have is the force in FAC, but we have to watch for the direction because we're going to do in here sum of all forces in X direction. So we can just assume one direction for FAC like that in here, but obviously since the other two are to the left, or the X component of these two are to the left, FAC has to be in the opposite direction in order to cancel the force out. But even if we assume that direction, we're going to get a negative sign at the end, which shows that assumption was correct. But we know 100% that this direction is correct, so we have FAC minus, again, we're just going to go with the one of these, so 2 times FBC, but we are looking for the X component of FBC, and FCD, so this will be the Y component, which is not what we're interested, but this will be the X component. So we have the same thing. This side is 9, this is 12, this is 15, but this time we have 12 over 15, or cosine of alpha in here. So this will be equal to 0, 2. FAC would be, so we're going to divide this by 3. 8 over 5 FBC. And from the previous part, we found FBC is 5 over 6Q. So now we can find the relation between FBC and FAC and Q. So FAC here is basically 8 over 6. Or if we divide by 2, 4 over 3 Q. And now we have the FAC based on Q2. Now we have to find the force Q in each of these three members that we have. We can start with the cable. So we go with the cable EE. And the formula that we have is the ultimate strength, which we have in the question. So the force that we have applying on cable, so this is our cable. Let me just clean up the figure. So now we are talking about the cable in here. The force that is applying to the cable is Q. And the area would be the area of the cable. I'm just going to show you the AC. So the Q is the ultimate strength times the area. The ultimate strength of the cable is known in the question, so we already highlighted. The cable is 70 KSI, so 70 times the area, pi over 4. We need to figure out the diameter of the cable, which it's in the second and third line. We have 1/2 inches, so pi over, so that's going to be our Q. Let's figure this out. 70 times pi divided by 4 divided by another 4. That's going to give us 13.74 kips. So that's the Q that we found for based on the ultimate strength of the cable. Let's move on to the rod AC. So same thing, we have the ultimate strength for the rod AC. Here we have the FAC over the area of the rod, showed with AR. So FAC in here would be the ultimate strength of the aluminum rod, which is 38 KSI. So we have 38 times pi over 4, and we need to find the diameter of the rod AC, which if we look at in the second line, we know it's 1 inch. So 1 to the power of 2. So FAC in here would be 38 times pi divided by 4. That's going to be 29.85. Again, kips, since we have the force in KSI unit and the diameter is based on inches squared, so the force will be in kips and ultimate strength in KSI. But that's not what we're looking for. We're interested in Q. And if we get back to the beginning, we can see that FAC is 4/3 of Q. So our Q is 3/4 of FAC, or 29.85. So again, this is coming from what we found in here. So this will be our FAC is equal to 8/6 or 4/3Q. Or in here, our Q is 3/4 of FAC. So we're going to multiply by 3 divided by 4, which is going to give us 22.38 kips. So that's our second Q based on rod. So far our winner is the cable because the force is lower than that. So if we go with this one, it's gonna fail the cable. So but we have one more thing to check, and that would be the steel loop. And same thing, we have the ultimate strength is equal to the force in the loop, which we found is the FBC. So we're gonna have FBC over the area of the loop, AL. So FBC in here is the ultimate strength for the loop and cable was the same. They're both, here's the loop, 70 KSI, so 70 times the area pi over 4, and the diameter of the loop is in the first line, 3/8. So 3/8 squared. So FBC would be 70. So FBC would be 70 times pi times 9, which is 3 squared, divided by 4. Now we're going to divide that by 80 squared, or 64. That's going to give us 7.0. kips. But again, we are interested in Q, and we figure out that the Q is from the first part. The Q is 6/5 FBC. So 6/5 FBC times 7.731. If I'm not making a mistake, no. Okay, times 6 divided by 5. That's gonna give us 9.278 kips. So looks like the lowest Q that we have in here is this one. So we have 9, we have 22, and we have 13. So this is going to be our winner for this question. And the question is not over yet, because all of the forces that we found, or the Qs that we found so far, are going to be ultimate Q, because we found them based on the ultimate strength, and factor of safety is ultimate strength over the Q that the question is asking, and we have to watch for that factor of safety too. So our Q in here would be basically 9.278 divided by 3. So we need to divide this by 3 since we have a factor of safety as well. So that's going to be 3.092 kips. Actually 93, we have to round up this one if we go with 3 digits. And that's going to be the final answer for his question. Hope everything was clear. Let me know if you guys have any questions. And we're covering 3 different textbooks on this channel. Feel free to check out the playlist and let me know if you have any specific problem that you want me to cover in the next videos. And you guys take care. I'll see you in the next one.